We've got an urgent security breakdown for you today, and it's a big one. It's called ClawJacked, and it targets one of the hottest new AI tools out there. And I really want to start with this quote directly from the researchers at Oasis Security because it just nails the severity here. Trivially vulnerable to hijacking from any website. Think about that. No complex hacks. You don't even have to click on anything. Just visiting the wrong website could be enough. So let's be absolutely clear. If you or your team use the AI assistant called OpenClaw, you need to treat this as a critical alert. We're about to walk through exactly how this thing works and, more importantly, what you need to do to fix it, like right now.
Okay, so to really understand the vulnerability, we first have to get a handle on the target. What exactly is OpenClaw, and why has it become such a big deal so fast?
Well, its popularity is it's staggering. It shot up to over 100,000 stars on GitHub in just 5 days. That makes it one of the fastest growing open source projects in history. It's safe to say developers absolutely love this thing. And here's why. Think of OpenClaw as your own personal AI assistant. It's self-hosted, so it runs right on your laptop. It plugs into everything, your messaging, your calendar, your dev tools, and it can actually take actions for you, all on its own. It's incredibly powerful. But, of course, that power comes with a risk. For a lot of companies, tools like OpenClaw fall into this bucket called shadow AI. Developers start using them. They get tons of access to local systems, but they often fly completely under the radar of IT security. There's just no central control. All right, let's get into the mechanics. To see how the attack works, we need to quickly understand the basic architecture of OpenClaw and, well, a really critical assumption its designers made. It's pretty straightforward, really. You've got a central gateway, which is basically the brain running on your machine. Then you have nodes, which are your connected devices that actually do the work. The whole thing is protected by a password. But here's the fatal flaw. It's in this last part. By default, the gateway just assumes that any connection from Localhost, from your own computer, has to be friendly. And as we're about to see, that assumption is where everything just completely breaks down. So, how does an attacker exploit this assumption? Well, it all starts with the one tool we all have open constantly, the web browser. Now, what's really wild is how simple this attack chain is. So you visit a malicious website. The JavaScript on that site quietly opens a connection to your local OpenClaw gateway. Your browser totally allows this. Then it just starts hammering away, guessing your password, incredibly fast. And once it's in, it registers itself as a new trusted device. And boom, the attacker has total control of your AI agent. All of this happens silently, right in the background. Okay, let's drill down into the absolute core of the problem here. We need to look closer at why this attack is so effective. And it all comes down to this fundamental failure of trust in those local host connections. And this slide right here perfectly illustrates the problem. For a normal external connection, OpenClaw has some security smarts. It limits password guesses, it makes you approve new devices, and it logs failed attempts. But for a connection from localhost, all of those protections are just switched off. No rate limiting, new devices are auto-approved, and nothing gets logged. The front door is just wide open. And because there's no rate limiting, that malicious script can just hammer the gateway with hundreds of password guesses every single second. A common password list, that gets cracked in under a second. A human-chosen password? Yeah, it doesn't stand a chance. So what does full control actually give an attacker? Well, they can send messages to your AI agent, they can steal all your configurations, they can see all your connected devices, they can read your logs, and this is the most terrifying part. They can execute any command they want on your machine. This is a full workstation compromise, all launched from a single, simple website visit. Okay, that was the bad news, I know. The good news is there is a fix, and there are very clear steps you can take right now to protect yourself and your organization. This is the most important slide in this entire breakdown. The patched version you need to be on is 2026.2.25. If you are running any version before this, you are vulnerable. Period. So the call to action could not be more simple. Update immediately. The OpenClaw team, to their credit, they pushed a fix in less than 24 hours. Now it's on all of us users to actually apply it. And for organizations, the advice is a bit broader. First, you have to know what's even running on your network. Get visibility into these shadow AI tools. You have to mandate the update for all OpenClaw instances. Review the permissions these agents have. What keys and access tokens do they hold? And finally, you got to start treating AI agents like any other user or service account in your system with proper governance and security. And that brings us to our final thought. The ClawJacked vulnerability isn't just about one tool. It's a massive warning shot. As these powerful AI agents become standard, integrated into everything we do, the real question we all have to ask ourselves is this: are we building the security and the governance to manage them safely?